Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Naomi was revealed as the person who attacked Jade Cargill in November, writing her off WWE television for nearly 4 months. The veteran herself has admitted to the crime, wishing that she had done it sooner. However, there isn't much we know about the attack other than Naomi pushing Cargill off a high platform, right onto the hood of a car. She ran away from the scene immediately, as revealed by the former AEW star. We do know that Naomi had been carrying hard feelings for Jade Cargill for a while, based on her promo alongside Bianca Belair. There seemingly was no evidence of it before the attack in November. However, it turns out that the former SmackDown Women's Champion wasn't able to hide her hatred of Cargill. She left a subtle spoiler of her heel turn 1 week before attacking the Storm. An eagle-eyed X/Twitter user posted a clip of it, coming from a backstage segment involving the two of them, Bianca Belair and Bayley. Naomi was smiling with Belair before letting out a scowl as soon as Jade Cargill started talking. The real-life Bloodline member quote-tweeted the post, essentially confirming her feelings. She used a caution emoji, which seems to be her new gimmick following her heel turn. So, with that being said, the question must be asked. How long had Naomi been planning her attack on Cargill? In the world of professional wrestling, every story told in the ring is a work of art. A dramatic mix of athleticism, storytelling, and spectacle. Wrestling has an allure that draws viewers in and keeps them on the edge of their seats. However, sometimes the most gripping stories aren't necessarily the ones that happen in front of the camera, but the ones that evolve subtly, behind the scenes, in interviews, and on social media. One of the most talked about incidents in recent weeks has been the unexpected attack on Jade Cargill, one of AEW's most dominant stars. But as with many wrestling storylines, things aren't always as they seem. A closer look reveals a hidden message sent by a 37-year-old star, which could very well be the key to understanding what really transpired. The attack on Jade Cargill. A stunning turn of events. Jade Cargill's sudden assault left fans in shock and disbelief. Cargill, a towering and powerful figure in AEW, was a beacon of dominance and confidence in the women's division. The attack, which took place on a live broadcast, seemed to come from out of nowhere. Cargill, who had been building an undefeated streak and was positioned as one of AEW's top stars, was blindsided by an unknown assailant. The assault left the fans puzzled, with no clear motive or culprit immediately emerging. In the chaotic aftermath, the company's officials and the commentary team scrambled to piece together what happened. AEW management promised an investigation, and fans were left wondering whether the attack was part of a larger angle or something more personal. Yet, in the midst of the fallout, subtle hints began to surface that pointed towards someone with a long history in AEW. A wrestler who had been absent for some time, but whose presence had been felt. The 37-year-old star. A message sent from the shadows. As the days passed, the investigation into the attack on Cargill continued. But it wasn't just the officials or the wrestlers in AEW who were raising eyebrows. Fans and insiders alike started to notice the subtle clues appearing in the most unlikely of places, on social media and in cryptic messages during interviews. At the center of it all was one name, Tasha Steelz. Steelz, the 37-year-old veteran of the wrestling world, had been relatively quiet in AEW for a while. Known for her fierce in-ring style and commanding presence, Steelz had made a name for herself on the independent circuit and in Impact Wrestling before briefly appearing on AEW's radar. She had recently teased her return to AEW. And in the weeks leading up to the attack on Cargill, Steelz had posted several cryptic messages that fans didn't pay much attention to at first. One of Steelz's most significant clues came when she tweeted a seemingly innocuous message that, in hindsight, was far from random. "What's it like to be the one everyone fears?" The tweet read, "There's always someone lurking in the shadows." Many brushed this off as just another standard tweet from a wrestler hyping their return. But when viewed in the context of the attack on Cargill, it now appeared to be a direct message. Another clue came from an Instagram post Steele made just days before the assault. The image showed a close-up of her hands, clenched into fists, with the caption, "Waiting for the right moment." Fans had assumed it was just a teaser for her in-ring return, but it was clear now that it was far more than that. Steele was building tension, dropping clues, and positioning herself as a shadowy figure waiting for the right opportunity. But perhaps the most telling message came when Steele gave an interview on a popular wrestling podcast. She spoke cryptically about her intentions, hinting that she was tired of being overlooked and felt that the women's division in AEW needed a shakeup. "There's a whole lot of people out there who think they've earned their spot," Steele said. "But they've forgotten what it takes to stay on top. They've forgotten about the hunger, the drive, the need to be the best. I haven't forgotten." This line struck many as a veiled shot at Jade Cargill. Cargill had risen to prominence quickly in AEW and had taken the women's division by storm. To some, this success appeared to come without the same struggle or journey that other wrestlers had to endure. Steele, with her experience and depth of character, seemed to be suggesting that there were others who had been overlooked. People who were hungrier and willing to do whatever it took to get to the top. The final clue: a grudge from the past. To fully understand the significance of these messages, one must dig deeper into Steele's history with AEW and the potential animosity that had been brewing in the shadows. Although Steele had not been as prominent in AEW's storylines, she had once crossed paths with Cargill, albeit in a brief encounter. It was during a backstage segment in which Cargill had been the center of attention, and Steele, perhaps frustrated by being sidelined, offered a pointed comment to Cargill, remarking that she didn't belong in AEW. At the time, it seemed like a throwaway remark, an offhand comment that didn't mean much. But in retrospect, it now seemed as though Steele had been planting the seeds for something much bigger. Over the next few weeks, the tension between Steele and Cargill began to grow, though subtly. Steele's tweets became more pointed, and her interviews increasingly hinted at dissatisfaction with AEW's direction. She wasn't just talking about her own journey anymore. She was talking about the state of the women's division as a whole, and Jade Cargill's meteoric rise was a part of that narrative. In wrestling, timing is everything. Steele understood this. By remaining in the background and allowing Cargill to dominate the spotlight, Steele could build an aura of mystery and tension. She knew that the longer she waited, the more impact her eventual return would have. And when it came to striking, she did so with precision. The truth behind the attack. Looking back, it's clear that Steele was the mastermind behind the attack on Cargill. But why attack her? What did Steele hope to gain? In many ways, Steele's attack was a declaration of intent. She wasn't just looking to make a statement. She was positioning herself as the next big challenger for Cargill's throne. Steele understood the value of her message. Cargill had dominated the AEW women's division for so long that she had become complacent. Steele wasn't just coming for the championship. She was coming for the legacy that Cargill had built. She was coming to prove that the women's division in AEW wasn't just about raw power and dominance. It was about skill, experience, and a willingness to do whatever it took to succeed. The assault on Cargill sent a shockwave through AEW. It wasn't just the physical impact that was felt. It was the emotional one. Fans now had to reckon with the fact that Jade Cargill's reign was no longer as invulnerable as it once seemed. Someone had come to challenge the established order, and that someone was Tasha Steele. The message sent: the new era of AEW women's wrestling. The fallout from Steele's attack has been felt throughout AEW. But it's also sent a clear message. The women's division is about to undergo a seismic shift. Cargill, once viewed as the invincible face of AEW's women's division, now finds herself faced with a challenge unlike any other. Steele, with her subtle clues and patient build-up, has shown that she is ready to take the throne and will stop at nothing to do so. But the question now is, what's next for Cargill? The attack may have been devastating, but it's not the end of her story. As any true champion knows, setbacks only make the comeback that much more rewarding. Jade Cargill will undoubtedly return more determined than ever, and the rivalry between her and Steels is set to become one of the most compelling in AEW history. In the end, the story of the attack on Jade Cargill is one of subtlety, patience, and strategic thinking. Tasha Steels, the 37-year-old star who had been biding her time, made her move when the moment was right. The clues were there all along, but it took a keen eye to spot them. As the AEW women's division continues to evolve, one thing is certain: Tasha Steels is here to send a message, and the landscape of AEW will never be the same again. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.